It's all about to go up from here. I can feel it. So I will force myself through it, whether I hit it or not. I actually can't believe how much I was crying in this book last night. Today, we're back with a new video all about some new releases that I'm so excited to read. Am I so excited to read? That might be an actual exaggeration for 1 out of 3. But over this next month, from like middle of Jan, middle of Feb, are 3 books that are being released I know I wanted to read. First is Onyx Storm, which is already out when I'm filming this. And then, what's the next one? I think it's Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. That one comes out, I think it's Feb 4th. So in just a couple days for me. And then the third one is the Rebel Witch book. And I'm so excited about that one. That one's like Feb 18th, I think. So I'm just gonna pick up the camera and like, you know, film these over this next month while I'm reading those 3 books. And then we'll see which one out of the 3 is the best. I am so excited. For honestly the second 2, the first one I'm not that fussed about, which is, it's not even the cover. Hello, hold on. Onyx Storm, let's just pretend that is on there. Cool, okay. So this is a part of the Imperialism series, I think that's what it's called. It's the 3rd one in the book. There's 4th Wing, Iron Flame, Onyx Storm. Unless you've been living under a rock, you'll have definitely heard about it. So I don't need to go on about the plot line. I personally, I really liked 4th Wing. I read about 5. Didn't really like Iron Flame as most people. So then I wasn't really that fussed about Onyx Storm. I actually thought about not picking it up, but the thought of not finishing a series that I already started actually sounds terrible, so I will force myself through it, whether I hit it or not. So I was like kind of excited, you know, because I was like, maybe it's better. You know, maybe it'll pick up and be good. But then I feel like just, I hate to say it, with all the love and kindness in my heart, but, and I think if you're on Book Talk, you've also seen this too, but just like the author has just been a bit cringe to me recently. So I'm trying to like separate the book from her, and I also just feel like I've seen so much like so many people were talking about this book coming out, and just so many random posts on IG. I don't know why my IG kept like pushing Onyx Storm content to me, not even just by her, just by like any random person. It just kept putting it on my feed, and I'm like, hey babes, I really don't actually care about this, please stop. Then that kind of, every time I saw it, it would take away my excitement even more. So now I just like, I finally bought the book a few days after it came out, and I was just like, I don't even really want to read this. I don't want to read it. So, but obviously I have to. I have to. I'm up to page 180, chapter 21. And I genuinely could not tell you a single thing that's happened in this part. There's just so much political stuff going on, and like so many characters, and I just like can't keep track of it all. And like it's not that deep, like it's not that hard, so it's not that I'm like an idiot. It's just, I feel like we're all over the place. So I'm trying to follow along, and I watched an Iron Flame roundup video because I wanted to like obviously try and remember it, and that was good. That was helpful because I didn't remember anywhere near as much as I thought I did. I've heard that the second half does get better, so I am holding out hope that it will improve. So I'll let you guys know when I have more updates. The struggle to stop yourself scrolling on TikTok and actually pick up your book, it's already hard enough, but especially when you're reading a book you don't care about. Oh, my phone is getting thrown away, and I literally had to turn on the camera to start a time lapse so I actually read the dang thing. We made it to page 243, and that's what we're gonna call it a night. Do I still have any answers? No. Do I know what's happening? No. Stuff's happening. Hi everyone, it's everyone's favorite time of day. Time to force yourself to read Onyx Storm. Okay, we're up to 243. I did post on my story that I was like finding this boring, and a few people said that it does get better. So it's all about to go up from here. I can feel it. I also realized the like weird thing about this book versus really any of the other books I've read is because, as I said, like I was seeing so much on social about the book and then also about the author. I can now like picture the author in my head when I'm reading, and I've realized I don't like that. I don't follow or really of the other authors that I really like on like socials, so I generally couldn't tell you what any of them look like, and I think I actually like that. It just, for some reason, like seeing a person in my brain when I'm thinking about reading the book, I think just like ruins it and then makes it feel like, I don't know, not that it's like not then like makes it feel too real, because like it's a book at the end of the day. It's like I always know it's fake, but I don't know, there's like a little bit I like the mysterious element of not knowing like who's kind of writing this, I feel. Because then I feel like they're writing it for me. They're not. Hey baby. There he is. Guys, I have to say what I'm about to say, and that is that the book is actually getting good. Ah! Thank heavens above. I don't know why, and I feel like this does happen with like multiple fantasy books, when the first half is just like not it, as I've said multiple times, that it's like you hit one page and all of a sudden it generally feels like a fog is lifted, and it like you actually start flying through the pages, you're like actually getting invested in the plot, but it just like I genuinely could feel the fog lifting, and now it's going great. I am gonna go to bed because it's like now 10 o'clock, which is my bedtime, so actually past my bedtime. I wanted to keep reading, so I literally got up to page 366. It's crazy. Guys, it is nearly about that time. I am up to page 502, so less than 30 pages left, and it's been going crazy. We're at, interesting, at the ending though, we're getting some different POV chapters, which is interesting to me. It reminds me of certain other series that I love. Little Throne of Glass ACOTAR moment. Oh, why is my Siri going off? Hello? But the interesting thing about this one is I have no connection to those characters really, because you haven't heard from them, like you haven't been in that POV at all. Like this is the first time you're obviously being in that POV, and it's only like a chapter for each, but it's just interesting because I loved it when it did it in like Throne of Glass or ACOTAR, because I was really connected to the characters, and I feel like it happened a few times. I'm not like making this up, but I do feel like, I don't know, it just felt, it felt like even if you were then in just the main girlie's POV the whole time, you just had a better grasp of the other characters. Maybe that's it. It's all going off though. It's all cooking off. It's all happening. It has been really good. It has been, well, okay. I don't know. It's, good is a strong word. Guys, what the actual heck was that ending? Why the heck would that be the ending when she knows? She knows she's not even, she hasn't even started writing the next one. She's taking time off. Probably isn't gonna be for another like year or two. Like I get leaving on a cliffhanger, but like you couldn't have left it on like a smidge less of a cliffhanger. Be sweet about the fact that you know you're not gonna do the next book for a while. Oh my gosh. Oh, guys, I started reading, where's the book? Oh, behind me. Last Twilight in Paris. And I have already got to page 220 without stopping to chit chat to you, because it has been so good. So my original plan for this video was to read Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, because that just recently came out, as you probably heard, but it was getting a lot of people saying that it was like a very smutty book, which I don't read a ton of smut, and if it's definitely gonna be like the main plot of the book, I'm not interested. So I ended up deciding not to read that one, and I was just looking to see what other new releases were coming out, and Last Twilight in Paris came up, and the concept sounded so interesting because it was similar to The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which I read and loved. This is very similar to that in the sense that you're following two women's lives and they're both in the World War II. And yeah, I really enjoyed that, so I feel like I'll really enjoy it again, and I was right. It is so good. I'm as I said, 220 pages in. I only have literally a small bit left. Yeah, I literally have like just over 100 pages left, and I've been tearing, I literally started this last night and I've just been tearing through it. It's just so easy to read because you are flipping back and forth between not only the two women's POVs, but also in the future and back in previously when they were in the war. So it's just like, there's just always a lot happening, which is interesting. You're starting to see like their lives are a little interconnected a bit, and that's been interesting as well because I wasn't totally expecting that. Hey everyone, today is an exciting day because it is Rebel Witch release date. Heck yeah. Which is so funny because I'm for some reason so excited about this. Yeah, I didn't really care that much about Heartless Hunter. Like, I think I read it at 4. It was good, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, favorite fantasy book ever. So I don't know why I'm like just so excited, but maybe it's just like there's some good energy in the air today, I'm gonna tell you. I think it's also, this is the first time I think I'm picking up a book on the day it's out, which is so fun because it just worked out best for me to come straight after work today to grab it. And we have a Starbucks in hand. In the winter they did this like iced gingerbread chai, and I just didn't think they would have it anymore because it's like February, but they still did. So I got it. I had a gift card, so this whole thing was only $160. I wouldn't usually get a venti of it, but I felt like I have to when you have a gift card. Energies are so high. I checked online too, and they have it in stock. So yeah, I'm just sitting out here. I realized I'd never talked to you guys about Last Twilight in Paris, and I loved that book. So I just want to quickly touch on that before like we start this next book. And I rated the other one. I remember I checked in with you guys when I was reading it, and I'm pretty sure I described most of the plot. It stayed pretty straightforward. There was nothing too crazy about it, but it was interesting because there was a bit of like a mystery element, in the sense of like, honestly, both plot lines, the women were trying to like either find stuff out, or like the one plot line, her friend, like something happened to her friend, so she was trying to figure out what kind of happened with that. And I thought that how that like kind of wrapped up was really interesting. And then the other one was like she was trying to kind of figure out what happened to her husband because she was getting mixed information. This was also in the war, which was like they couldn't just like, you know, phone him up and ask him, which was kind of crazy, obviously. Sliding is actually horrendous, but it was 5 out of 5. I really liked it. I would recommend it for sure. I think if you read The Nightingale recently, I wouldn't read it because it is like very similar in that aspect of like following two women, as I said, during World War II. It was different experiences for sure. So that was fun, find a new author that I'd never read anything of her stuff before. I think time for us to go into Books A Million and pick this up. Boop. Guys, I actually can't find it. I've only looked like on the end caps and like when you first walk in both doors, but normally the new stuff is by there, so I'm gonna have to go and see an aisles and look for it. Oh my gosh. We're in the fantasy, where are you? Period, guys, we found it. I'm up to page 70 of Rebel Witch already, and I just read this last night, and I'm already loving being back in the world. It is good. If you love a little like enemies to lovers moment, you will eat up this book. I cannot lie to you. Again, I think I don't remember being like obsessed with Heartless Hunter, but I think it's just the whole world itself is just like easy to understand. There's nothing crazy. This is like, I'd say my most recent like fantasy vibe since Onyx Storm. So just going from that where you're so locked in to this where you can just like so easily read it and understand what is happening is so nice. Okay, so far the main plot has been Gideon is trying to kill Rune, but if you read the first one, you know, easier said than done. So homeboy is like, oh, he doesn't want to, but he has to, and he does, like, he wants to complete the like mission that he's on to kill her, but like, you know, homeboy is so in love with her, so doesn't want to kill her. Of course they're on a boat And of course, there's only one cabin that is tiny and has a tiny little bed in it. We love to sit. We love to sit. Guys, I was kicking and screaming reading this yesterday. I got up to page 154. So only another like 80 so pages, but it is so good. If you love, yeah, the like enemies to lovers, the banter, there's only one bed in the cabin, no. Then you will eat this up. You'll eat this up. I like literally, I need to post a TikTok about it. That's how much I don't ever get like the urge to talk about books on TikTok really. I just keep it for the vlogs, but I'm loving the book so much I want to. I'm just popping in to update that I am over 200 pages in. We're up to page 309. Oh my gosh, I'm 300 pages. And oh, there was something happened that I did not see coming at all. And I also didn't realize that this is only a duology. I probably should have, but I only heard about that today. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna wrap it all up in this next little bit? So I'm gonna finish it right now. And loving it, loving it. Goodness, that was a roller coaster. That was actually crazy. I'm gonna go to bed and think on this, and then I'll give a roundup tomorrow and decide to rate it. But I know it's gonna be high, let me tell you. I actually can't believe how much I was crying in this book last night. That was so unexpected, but it was so good. It was really interesting because they both kind of had different kind of like plans they were each individually following, like different missions they both need to complete, and they were trying to like kind of be sneaky and lie to each other about their plans. And like obviously they were trying to like push their feelings away, and then I just couldn't. Gideon, love that man. I was very interested to like see how it was gonna wrap up, because we were kind of like down one path the whole time, I feel, and then near the end I was like, are we gonna keep going down this path? Or it was literally like less than 100 pages, and I'm like, I feel like we're gonna have to wrap this up really quick. And I do kind of feel like the ending was a smidge quick, but I don't think that was bad. There was a lot of like reveals at the end, as there always is in fantasies. They were really good. I didn't anticipate any of them, so that was fun, which I have heard other people say that they did anticipate it, so maybe it was obviously just me not thinking too deeply into it, but I really liked it. I haven't read too many duologies, but so I can't really like compare just in general. So there was a bit of me that was like, oh, I'm sad that like, you know, this is the end of these characters and I'm not gonna have another book to read with them, just because I'm used to like stinking Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, that are like tons of books long. So yeah, this did feel a bit short in comparison, obviously, because it is. I don't think this is young adult, but it was pretty like closed door when it came to like the smut, which I prefer. I don't really like when it's like super smutty, so that was really nice. I liked that aspect of it too. So yeah, if you haven't read it, this duology I would really recommend. I think it's a good fantasy romancy read for sure. And yeah, so that's gonna be the end of this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have read any of these 3 books or they're on your TBR, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on them too. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.